We've been promising you all morning long here on the Frank and Mike Show that we were going to talk to Mel Blanc, and it is my pleasure to tell you we've got him on the phone. Good morning, Mel Blanc.
Good morning, friend. How are you?
See, when you talk to Mel Blanc, how do you know what voice is going to come out?
Well, usually it's Bugs Bunny, Doc. That's my favorite.
Listen,
Mel, is that seriously your favorite?
Yes, it is.
Now, what voice was that?
Everybody in the world knows Bugs Bunny.
What voice are you using now?
Pardon?
What voice are you using now?
This happens to be Mel Blanc.
But is Bugs Bunny really your favorite?
Yes, he is.
Is that the one you started with, Mel?
No. I started as a drunken bull.
A drunken bull?
Well, yeah, I finally got an audition after trying for a year and a half to get in, and they finally gave me a chance to be funny, they said. So they said, can you do a drunken bull? And I thought for a minute, I said, well, of course I can do a drunken bull. You can't do with a sour mash.
And you got the job. When was that, Mel?
They had me on that doing that drunken bull. That was the first voice I did.
And when was that, Mel?
I think it was 1937.
Wow.
Have you ever figured up the number of voices that you've given characters?
Yes. You know, I had a very bad accident in 1961.
Yes.
And I was in a full-body cast. Almost every bone in my body was broken. And I was just laying there and I had nothing to do, and I thought I'd figure out how many different voices and dialects I could do. So I kept going from early in the morning until I fell asleep at night, and I passed the 400 mark.
Wow.
And I thought, gosh, 400 voices, that's something. And they publicized that in my next interview, and somebody from a guy by the name of Butler, who was doing a script on the Warner Brother cartoons, wrote back to me and said, Mel, you're wrong. Said, because for Warner Brothers alone, you did 500 different characters.
Isn't that something?
So that makes it over 900, which
Oh my gosh.
practically the voice of 1,000 people have been, 1,000 characters.
How is Daffy?
Well, Daffy is just fine. He sprays a little bit.
Isn't that wonderful? I love it. So, now look, what about Yosemite Sam? I'd love to hear a little Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam is perhaps the toughest voice I do, because you can't do too many lines by him, otherwise you'll tear your throat apart. But I'll do one line for you. Okay. My name's Yosemite Sam, the roughest, toughest cowboy that ever shot a gumdrum.
Now that's a tough one to do.
It sure is.
Do you do all the voices? I'm not even sure. Do you do Elmer Fudd?
Well, you know, Elmer Fudd was done by Arthur Q. Bryan, and he died about 35, 40 years ago.
Oh.
So they came to me and said, will you imitate, Elmer Fudd? I said, I don't imitate anybody. So they said, well, just a couple of lines in a picture, and we want to draw him in on this picture. They said, won't you try it? I said, oh, I'll try, but I don't know if I could do them very good. So I've been doing it ever since.
And how about Porky Pig?
Well, Porky always it talks like a I can't say jerk.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Mel, I remember so well when the story broke back in the early '60s that you were in that terrible accident, and so many people were so worried all over America because we were afraid we would lose all of these voices, and we're so happy you recovered and that you're still going strong.
Well, thank you very much. You know, I received thousands of letters from people telling me to please get well.
Well, you're indeed one of our national treasures.
You certainly are.
You've provided I think of not only Frank, cartoons for you, your children, your grandchildren. I mean, it must be wonderful knowing that all these generations have been entertained by you.
I hope you go forever, Mel.
That's very nice of you to tell me that.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Okay, Porky wants to say goodbye to you.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be glad to. So long, San Francisco. So long, San Francisco. So long, so long, San Francisco. I'm not supposed to say Frisco, so I'll say San Francisco. San Francisco. That's all, folks.